Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
Go ahead, Steve.
All right, Hisaki, it's a pleasure to talk to you again today, and I'd be remiss if I didn't congratulate you for getting another great win since we talked before your A.J. Matthews fight. How satisfied were you with your performance in that bout?
Yeah, it was a great fight. He said he will do the striking part with me, and he did it. And yeah, I enjoyed that fight actually. And AJ Matthews is a nice guy too. I respect him as a fighter too, and as a man. So it was a great day and a great fight.
It was a very fun fight to watch. The fans in Memphis seemed to enjoy it as well. And the thing that I liked the most was that you really went for the finish there at the end. It looked like it could have been stopped a couple of times, and then he got back up, and it looked like he might survive till the second round, but you really turned on the gas. Did you sense that you could get the finish there late in the round?
Yeah. I knew even before the accidental eye poke, I knew he was quite hurt with his liver, and he was really tough because he was really hurt. I don't know why the commentators were saying that I was dizzy and stuff, because he was way in more danger than me, and he was really close to break. And unfortunately, I did the eye poke, and he could recover a bit. But I knew he was really close to break. And when I heard the bell with the last 10 seconds, I knew I had to finish that fight now.
Well, I think the result would have been inevitable. Even if that went to the second round, I think you still would have gotten the knockout or the TKO. Like you said, the liver kick already had him hurt, and then when you caught him upstairs with the head kick and followed up with the punch, it seemed like he was wilting really fast at that point.
Yes, that's why I really try to have the finish in the last 10 seconds, because I knew he was really busy, and yeah, that's why, and it wasn't risky for me, because even if I tried to blast him, and even if I didn't have the knockout at that time, I knew I had a minute after to recover and then to push hard again in the second. So that's why I decided to finish him in the first round.
And that you did, and it was a tremendous fight. So we're looking forward to seeing something similar here with Ralek Gracie. But last fight you had a guy who was willing to meet you at your style. He wanted to go in there and stand with you and trade with you and see who would excel. Ralek Gracie is a little bit different, and I know you know the history of the Gracies, both here and in Japan. So what are your thoughts on facing a guy who's probably not going to stand with you?
Yeah, it's gonna be more complicated to shine with the striking, because he's definitely gonna try to pressure me and put me to the ground. So, well, I know it's coming. I know that's what he's going to do. But you know, I've been doing a lot of grappling and ground training with him. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know how hard I can punch, and he's not been doing a lot of MMA. Even if he's been training a lot, it's different to fight and to train. And to be punched in the face during a fight is really different. So, I don't know, but I will. Well, it's not a secret. Everybody knows it's gonna be like that. He's gonna try to put me down, and I'm going to try to counter him and just to knock him out.
And you mentioned that he hasn't had a strictly MMA fight in a while. He's obviously been doing grappling with Metamoris, and that being his baby, but the last time we saw him take a straight-up mixed martial arts fight was the legendary Kazushi Sakuraba back in 2010. Do you think not having an MMA fight in that long hurts him?
Yes, of course, because training and fighting official fights is really different. So, the stress is different, and the gloves are different, and you don't have gears during the professional fights. So of course it's different. And you know, I really respect Sakuraba, but I'm definitely a different person, and yeah, well, we will see, but it's gonna be a harder fight for him this time.
since you mentioned that it's going to be a different fight and that you do respect Sakuraba, but it's a completely different thing, I also wonder if you have to look at Ralek Gracie's record. And yes, Sakuraba is a legend in both pro wrestling and mixed martial arts, but 2 out of the 3 guys that Gracie faced in MMA were pro wrestlers, both Sakuraba and Katsuyori Shibata. So does it kind of seem like he hasn't really been having MMA fights?
Well, it was MMA rules, so if you fight in MMA rules, you have an MMA fight, you know. So that's not the point for me. But of course, he did some fights with people who are better on the ground than on their feet. So I will be different. But I will be a different challenge. What I can say is that he's really good on the ground. I know that, and my best chance to win the fight is to stand and punch. So that's what I'm planning to do.
I guess what I'm also getting at, to a little bit of a degree, and I'll expand on that a little more, is that I wonder if Ralek Gracie takes MMA seriously, or as seriously as he could, because between fighting pro wrestlers instead of fighting traditional mixed martial arts fighters and doing things like the Metamoris promotion and filming a rap music video, it's always seemed like his interests lie in places other than taking MMA fights.
Well, I don't know. You know, the guy was born in a legendary family. Maybe, you know, they really use fighting for them in their DNA, so they are not stressed and they are confident. So maybe it helps them having different business at the same time, you know. So good for him. It's important to do different things and to have a good life, you know. If he's taking the fight seriously or not, it's not of my business, you know. Me, I'm taking the fight seriously and I'm going to try to win. That's it.
You're right. It's easy enough to be diversified in your portfolio when you already have Gracie as your last name. It's almost a given that you're going to be great at jiu-jitsu with a name like Gracie. So you talked about him being a legend and the Gracie family being legends. Do you feel like that adds extra luster to this fight, that legendary name?
Yeah, even in Japan, some people were telling me Gracie Hunter, like they used to call Sakuraba. But, you know, Ralek is not a beast. There is no hunting. There is nothing. There's just a professional fight. So, the family name is famous. But for me, the name is not really famous in MMA. So, you know, as an individual, he's, for me, just my next opponent and a good guy on the ground. That's it.
Now, what is your feeling about being part of this mega card that they're putting on at the Forum with Chael Sonnen, Tito Ortiz on top? You've already been in some great showcases. This is an even bigger showcase.
Yeah, I'm really proud to be part of it. The main event are really famous, and even me, I will enjoy watching the fight after mine. So, I'm really exciting, and I'm going to try to do a great performance too, to contribute to this great event.
Now, I've asked everybody I've talked to if they have any predictions on Ortiz versus Sonnen. Obviously, you're focusing on your own fight, so if you don't have an answer, that's fine. But if you do, what do you think the fight will be like?
I don't know. As I said, I will enjoy this fight as a fan, so... I don't know. I don't know in what condition they are. You know, it when you get older, your condition is about everything. So it's not about what you did in the past. It's just about what your condition is now and if you have injuries or not. So I don't know who's gonna win, but it's gonna be a great show and I will enjoy watching it.
It seems like some things might actually tip in Tito's favor since he's been the more active and Sonnen's been off for a few years.
Yeah, but you never know. There is different parameters. The reach can be one, the weight can be another one, your stamina condition, your old injuries. So I really don't know. I don't know at what point they are now. So.
Fair enough. Now, let's just say you had the opportunity to move up from middleweight to light heavyweight and face either one of them yourself, who would you want to face of the two, Chael or Tito?
Nah, it will never happen. I'm a light middleweight. I'm a small middleweight, so I would have to eat a ton of food to get to light heavyweight. But I don't know if I was big enough. Maybe I don't know. It's a hard question. Maybe Tito Ortiz because I like the guy and he's really aggressive and I like aggressive fighters.
Yeah, that would be a fun fight. But since you are planning to stay at middleweight and, like you said, you'd have to eat a lot of food to be light heavyweight, what do you think is next with a win over Ralek Gracie? Is it time for that title shot?
Yeah, it will definitely. If I have a good win, if it's a good show, a big knockout that you can remember, I think I would have good chances to have a title shot, and I'm waiting for it. But if the fight is boring, I don't know. It will depend on the other fights too. It will depend if the champion is finally fighting to protect his belt or not after a year. So, a lot of different parameters. But for me, if I win by knockout, I will definitely try to have that title shot.
That is sort of a lingering question out there. We're waiting for Rafael Cavallo to defend that title, and he was supposed to have the rematch with Melvin Manoof, and that fight fell through. So, do you think that fight still has to happen before you could get a chance at the champion?
Of course. If I win, I want a title shot. So I should say, no. That's it. It's been cancelled, so let's move on and do another fight. But if I want to be fair with me, I should say yes, this revenge should happen because for me, Manhoef was the winner of the last fight, and he's not that old and he's been fighting a lot and he deserves another shot at the title, for the title. So, yes, well, if I want to be frank and fair, I will say yes, they need to do this fight.
That is a very fair answer, and a lot of fans out there certainly thought he took the title from him, but the judges, with that split decision, they didn't see it that way. So that question will be answered hopefully at some point, but I want to see a great performance from you at the Forum in Inglewood, and I think the fans do too, so you may just leapfrog to the head of the line, and then Manoof will have to challenge you.
Yeah. Well, every time I enter the cage, I try to finish my opponent, so I will try my best, as always.
We'll look forward to that. And as always, Hisaki, it's been a pleasure. And if you have any sponsors you want to thank, teammates you want to thank, I'd like to give you that time right now.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Let me just ask you one question then before I let you go. At Hisaki Alive on Twitter, but I never really see you tweeting. Do you use that account, or is that just there as a placeholder? No, actually,
I need to be more active. It's just, I'm not a good seller, maybe, I don't know, I'm just thinking that, my privacy is not that, interesting to put pictures every day about what I've been eating and who I've been training with, so, it's quite hard for me to put some information and new pictures every day, but yes, I will try to be more serious with that too.
Well, I think if you worry about fighting first and social media second, you've already got your priorities straight anyway. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't change it if it's working for you.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for the time today. And we'll look forward to a great fight on January 21st.